What's up? Okay, welcome back to Mind Your Hormones. I'm so excited to chat with you today. We're just having like a chilled back, relaxed chat together, you and I, as always. And it's just something that came up today that I'm like, oh, I just want to I just feel like this needs to come through. And I know you're going to resonate with it. Okay, so we are talking about intuition today. And yes, of course, on the show, we're always talking about like the science stuff and how like the action steps and the tangible things and the like taking action so that you can see a change in your cycle, in your fertility and all the things. Yes, that's so important. But, and we obviously talk about this on the show, but I'm a very like spiritual, intuition led person. And when I became a mom, this strengthened, but I also got away from it a little bit more outwardly, right? Not inwardly. I feel like my intuition grew so much stronger. Yeah, no, it was very strong before I became a mom too. But even just with mothering things, like I'm just so confident in the choices that like we make for her that I don't like second guess them. I just know what feels right. Like I feel very in tune and like intuitively led with all of that. But outwardly, like I don't feel like I talk about it as much on the show or even post about it as much on Instagram, but it's like a major part of my life. Like I really live my life greatly with like intuition led. And I was thinking about this last night of just how like our intuition really always knows. And I like sometimes people are like, oh, your gut feeling. I personally experience a gut feeling. This is going to depend for you if like what your human design is, right? So if you're not familiar with human design, definitely look into it. But some people will, like, I'm a manifesting generator if you are familiar with it. So I have a sacral intuition. So that means I feel it in my gut, right? And it's like, yes or no. There's no like gray areas, no black or white. If something's black or white, it's like, then it's usually a no. So for me, it's like yes or no. There's no black or white. And so I feel it in my gut. But some people don't have that gut intuition. Some people just have an instinct where it's like when you first hear about a thing, you like have that instinctual like knowing. So you might feel it as a gut feeling like I do. You may experience it as just like a knowing. Sometimes I also feel it as just like a knowing as well. You might experience it of just like an instinct, like right away you have this like instinct, and then you start going in your mind and you start like talking yourself out of it, but if you go back that instinct feeling, that was the right one that you should have chosen. So it's going to come through differently for everybody. But what I want to say is that like your intuition always knows, and everybody has this. Some people's are stronger than others because some people are pouring into it more than others. Just like some people have more muscles or more like physical strength than others because they work at it more with working out, right? It's the same thing of like quote unquote working out your intuition by tapping in more, by meditating, by taking a shower in silence, by going for walks in silence, by maybe praying, by just asking for guidance, literally just saying like talking to your spirit team or your angels or whatever. Like I said, I always say I'm very spiritual. I don't consider myself religious. I have like a negative connotation to that word, and I don't know why, because like I believe in spirits and I believe in God and I believe in angels and I believe in all of that. But for some reason that like word, like religious, and that's not mocking anyone who is religious. Like I just said, I believe in God, I believe in all these things, but I just had a negative connotation with it. And that's something I have to work through on my own, but that's besides the point. But like asking like, hey, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's your fertility, maybe it's something in your job, maybe it's a relationship, whatever, right? Like show me the way. Show me the way. I'm open to listening. Ask for signs like, hey, show me the sign of a blank if I should do this thing. Show me a sign of a blank if I should do this thing, right? Like literally talk to your spirit team, to the universe, God, source, whoever you believe in, and ask them for guidance because they will support you. And like, it blows my mind, the support. Like, it's just so crazy. And it doesn't feel crazy because I'm just so like used to it now, but like things that will happen and the support that I'll ask for and the support that I'll get in return is absolutely insane. But they have to be invited in. So you need to ask for that support. And so that can help you strengthen like your intuition as well. But it's really just like, and the thing is, it's like most of the time, you know the answer to something. Whether right now you're struggling with the decision of, should I try this medication for infertility? Should I go down the IUI route? Should I do IVF? Should I go to this functional medicine doctor? Should I join this course? Should I I don't know, like try this different modality, or maybe it's something with your job. Should I apply to different jobs? Should I ask for a promotion? Should like all of us are dealing with something that we need to make a decision on, right? We're making decisions all the time, but you are right now grappling with something, right? We all are. So a lot of times we intuitively, we always know what we want to do. I don't even want to say what we want to do, because sometimes we don't want to do the thing, but we know what's right. You know what is the next best step, or you know what's the right thing to do. And eventually you're going to do it, right? Because eventually you're going to get yourself there. So it's like, how can we more quickly get to taking the action on what we feel intuitively, instead of having so much middle ground between having the like gut feeling or the knowing or the intuition to join the course, to go to this doctor, to not do the medication, or to do the medication, or to leave the job, or to move to the next city, whatever, right? Whatever it is, it's like there's so much in between from you feeling like you know what's right and then you actually finally doing it. Because a lot of times, if you're not solid in your intuition and your knowing, you'll ask a million people for advice on a situation, and you'll just keep hemming and hawing over it and be like, well, maybe this is right, or maybe this, da, 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 da. And really what you're doing is you're waiting for someone to validate what you already know and give you permission to do the thing that your intuition is already telling you to do, right? And I've done this a million times. We've all done this, okay? But that's what you're doing when you're seeking, like, and of course it's like, it's helpful to seek advice from other people, like, especially a lot of women are verbal processors. So it's helpful to just like verbally talk about it. And sometimes someone will say like the opposite of what you intuitively know, and it will make your intuition even stronger, because they'll say like, no, I think you should do this. And you're like, okay, wait, that absolutely sounds horrible. That's definitely not it. Right. So it is helpful to sometimes like talk to other people about things, because it will help you strengthen your answer. But what we don't want to get caught up in is seeking that validation from other people and taking forever to make a decision when you know you're going to eventually make the decision that you know is best for you anyway. It's like, how can we shorten that space between it? Right. So, and something that can help you with this is if you're figuring something out, right? Again, whether it's in your fertility, your health, your relationships, your job, where you live, your family life, like whatever. If you're figuring something out, not if, you obviously are. So just pick something in your life you're figuring out. Does like the action, right? Whether that's, again, doing the medication, not doing the medication, joining the course, taking this hormone test, leaving the job, asking for a promotion, going to a new city, leaving a relationship, whatever it is, right? Does the action make you contract, or does it make you expand? Right? So when you think about, like, say for you, it's like when you think about starting IUI or taking medication or changing, your lifestyle, doing the course or leaving the job, whatever, right? Does it make your body, right? Does it make your body and your spirit feel like smaller and closed off? Or does it make you feel like chest wide open, expansive, free? How do you feel? And if you're not very in tune with your body, and a lot of women aren't, because we've like spent so many years disconnecting ourselves from our body, but the more that you like tap into this, that's something that you could always ask yourself when you're making a decision. Does this decision make me feel closed off and contract? Does it make me feel expansive, chest open? If it makes you feel like expansive, chest open, that doesn't mean you're not scared, right? We're not talking about fear, because you're going to feel fear all the time when you're making big decisions. That's not what we need to go by. You could feel like expansive, and that's like initially, right? But then you could have fear creep in and be like, oh, I don't know. But when you're thinking about these actions, does it make you feel contract and like, oh my God, or does it make you feel expansive? And so that's just like one little part of this. And then we're going like all different directions. Like I said, I was just like, we're sitting down, we're chatting, things are on my mind. Okay. And I was thinking about this too when I was stretching this morning, of like, what if for the next 30 days, you just chose to lean into your spirituality, your religion, your belief more? If you were just like, I am leaning and I am trusting the process. I am believing in the desires that I have. I am believing that I'm supported. I am believing that there are things so much greater than I can even comprehend that are coming my way right now. And I am just trusting and knowing that I'm supported and that I am going to receive these in the perfect timeline, right? And that doesn't mean you're just going to sit back for 30 days and be like, all right, everybody, like, God's got it, the universe has got it. It's like, no, no, no. We obviously need to take action as well. Okay. So like, let's not get it twisted. We don't want to be on one side of too far on one side of the spectrum, right? You want to find a happy balance, but it's like, what if you just leaned more into your faith and your spirituality and receiving that support and feeling so much less so much less stressed. You feel more peaceful because you're just like, I know it's not just me that is controlling this, right? Because sometimes that could feel so overwhelming of like, oh my God, like I am in control of all of this. And it's like, yeah, you have a lot of control. You totally do. But also, you're not the only person that's in control here. There's such a bigger path, a bigger vision. There's so much that we can give up control over to a higher power to take some of the weight off, right? Especially if it's something you're dealing with that's heavy right now. Like if it is your fertility journey, that's extremely heavy. You could just be like, listen, I can't carry the weight of this whole thing. Like, please take some of the weight off my shoulders and you just handle the parts of it that you need to handle and I'll handle the parts of it that I can handle, right? Because I just can't do it all on my own. Feel that like weight lifted off your shoulders, just knowing like it's not all on you. There's other people, not even people, there's just like a world of energy and spirit and a whole universe, just everything conspiring with you to help support you. Literally their job is to help you and help you win and to support you. Right? There's this other saying, my business mentor always says this. I think it's from Albert Einstein. You can either believe that you live in a friendly universe or a hostile universe. What do you believe? Because whatever you believe is going to dictate how your life pans out. So do you believe that you live in a hostile universe or do you believe that you live in a friendly universe? And I'm going to choose friendly universe every freaking time because that means that I feel like I'm always being supported, right? And that doesn't mean that everything always goes right. Like, let's not get it twisted. It doesn't, but it means that in those really hard times, I know that there's an opportunity for me to learn something here. There's just a bigger picture that I can't really see yet. And that the more I lean into my faith about it, there's going to be something better for me on the other side, right? So like, really just ask yourself, instead of when something goes wrong, it's like, of course me, of course this happened to me. It's like, okay, do you believe that the universe is hostile then? Or do you believe that it's friendly, right? So that can really help shift your belief as well. And so for the next 30 days, like I really want you to just choose to lean in more. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? There's literally no downside to you leaning more into your faith, your spirituality, whoever you believe in, it doesn't matter. Okay. And so this kind of like segues into this because I was thinking all about this at like the same time. What can pair really nicely with this on this topic of like intuition, having like, yes, the action matters. Yes, changing things in your diet or lifestyle supplementation matters when you want to change your physical health, right? Your fertility, your cycle, whatever. But so is the energetic side to everything. Like it's so extremely important because everything in your body is connected. Your mind is connected to your body. Your mind literally changes your cells, right? We are energetic beings. So we have to tap into that as well. So what I would love for you to do for the next like 30 days, right? Even you could just commit to it like 5 days a week, okay? Or whatever feels good for you. Every night, it could even be in the morning too, wherever you have the space to do it. And you don't have to do it with your legs up the wall. You could do it any time, but I want it to be a time where your eyes are just closed, right? Because I want you to you could do it like if you're a mom and you're listening to this, like, and it's like, okay, maybe I could just do it when I'm like breastfeeding my baby, or not really when you're driving because I really want your eyes closed. So definitely not when you're driving. But anyway, I'll give you an example of how I'm envisioning this for you, and then you could fit it into your life however makes sense. But every night or 5 nights a week, whatever, when you put your legs up the wall, right? So like you're laying in bed and your legs are up the wall, like not 90 degrees, like kind of like, what is this, 45 degrees? Yeah, I think 45 degrees. I'm not a mathematician here. It's really good for your nervous system, all the things. That's not what the point of this is. But you're laying down, and again, you could be laying flat in your bed too. I want you to close your eyes, put like vibey music on, whatever vibes with you. Maybe it's like some Trevor Hall or some just like nature sounds or whatever. Right? Something that gets you like really like in your body, okay? And calming. We're not like blasting like Jay-Z right now, okay? Close your eyes. I don't know why he popped into my head, but whatever. Music on. I want you to visualize like warm, healthy blood flow to your reproductive organs. I want you to literally like, and if you don't know like what your reproductive organs look like your ovaries, uterus, everything, like your whole pelvic area, just look it up so you can like actually visualize it. in your head, which is so crazy. Like, I mean, we probably should have seen a picture of that a million times in school because it's part of our body, but whatever. So look up the picture so you know exactly what it looks like. But I want you to visualize this like warm, like beautiful blood flow to all your reproductive organs. Everything is clear, everything is flowing through. I want you to visualize like strong and healthy ovaries and beautiful, strong eggs and a beautiful, healthy baby in your uterus, cushioned by this fluid, like the amniotic fluid around it, and just floating around in there. Like he or she is so happy. And you see them kick around and they're so teeny tiny. Like, literally picture this in your body. I want you to picture it in your brain like you're watching a movie. And some people visualize things differently. So not everybody's able to actually like create a movie in their brain so much, but just like think about it. And I want you to get into the feeling of this and just picture the health of your reproductive area, the health of your fertility, because we can either, especially if you have been trying for a while, just an example, I know not everybody listening to this specific episode is someone who's trying to get pregnant, but if you are, a lot of you are, you can a lot of times start to feel like there's something wrong with you, like maybe you have a reproductive disorder. And like when we're looking at like, oh, something wrong, it's not healthy, it's like it's more of like a disease side of things, right? I'm not saying you have a disease, but I'm saying like instead of thinking of wellness, we're thinking of like something's wrong, right? Like it's like wellness versus disease, right? Like if you're putting on two sides of the spectrum. So I want you to start shifting your thoughts of visualizing your body, your fertility, your organs to health and wellness instead of there's something wrong, they don't work properly. Okay. And does that mean that you could just visualize this and still be having coffee on an empty stomach, working out too much, not identifying like your triggers that are really stressing you out, and eating all non-organic foods? Like, no, don't get it twisted. You got to do all of it. Okay. Not all of it. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to marry both together, right? That's why the Mind Your Hormones method is so powerful. A whole other conversation. So, but I really want you to do this. Like, show me that you are so committed to your fertility and to your health. And again, if you're someone who's not getting pregnant, but you're trying to work on like something else, maybe you're postpartum and you're like, your pelvic floor is a little messed up and you feel like, whatever, like visualize the health of it, visualize anything, the health of your relationship, the health of your job, or like where you live, like whatever it is, doesn't matter. But I really want you to visualize this of like, it's all working properly. My eggs are, and even if everyone's like, you have ovarian failure, you have such low AMH, like all this bullshit. Don't mean it's bullshit. That could potentially be true, but that doesn't mean it can't change, right? I had a client in the Trying to Conceive Accelerator where they told her she would literally never be able to get pregnant. She had ovarian failure. We worked together for I think it was 4 months, 5 months tops. I believe it was 4 months. She got pregnant. She now has a beautiful, healthy baby boy. And I'm like, you just told her she'd never be able to get pregnant. 4 months later, like here we are. So ridiculous. But anyway, so I really want you to picture the health of your reproductive system and visualize the baby and visualize all these things. And if when you're doing it, you're like, I could visualize the like healthy blood flow and the healthy organs and all that. But once you get to the like baby in your belly part, if you are feeling doubt creep in, just don't even add that part in, because we don't want to have you thinking it but not actually believing it, right? I want you to actually feel that this is true. So if it's too much of a leap for you, and some days you might be able to believe it and feel it, and some days you don't. I don't want you to force yourself when you're having doubt about it. I want you to feel full belief when you're doing it. So if picturing the baby in there is too much of a step for you, just picture blood flowing, everything looks good, you're like, things are working good, like just picture that wellness in that area. And then when on the days where you're feeling like, okay, I can actually tap into this belief of the baby being in there, tap into that. You're going to be more easily able to do this during your follicular and your ovulation phases. I did an episode on like, tell me you're ovulating without telling me you're ovulating, and that was last week. So go back and listen to it. It'll explain why. But during your luteal phase, you may have a harder time getting behind this belief, which is okay. Okay. And eventually it'll be easier. But don't force it if you feel that doubt. Just do what you can really get behind and really feel. Okay. Because I want you to feel the wellness in your body. And this will only take like a few seconds. Like, this isn't like a long thing. It could be a minute, right? But if you're like really loving it, like go all in, go all out, go as long as you want it to take. It doesn't have to take a long time. Okay. So this episode was all over the place. Hope you loved it. I just wanted to share this with you today and just have like a chill back, relax episode. Let me know what came through for you with this. I'm excited to see what happens as you are doing this. If you do this practice, which I know you will because you full ass your you're a full asser. As I always say to everyone in the Mind Your Hormones that I'm like, you full ass it, which is why you get these results. Let me know how it goes. I want to know what song you're listening to when you do it. Like, keep me posted, okay? And if you do want to join the Mind Your Hormones Method, by the way, that's your step-by-step roadmap of exactly what to do in your diet, lifestyle, and supplementation to balance your hormones, because we optimize the systems in your body that actually affect all of your hormones, which is actually getting down to the root cause, not just like spot treating one hormone that might be off. Check out the show notes. You could always use code podcast for 10% off. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. As always, thank you for sharing the show with friends. Thank you for writing reviews. If you haven't yet wrote a review, it would mean the world to me if you could write a review. Literally, it could take like 10, 20 seconds. It helps the show so much, and I love reading them. So thank you in advance for all of you who have already done that, and thank you for doing it now if you are. Thank you again so much for just being here. I'm so grateful for this community, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being here. If you loved this episode and learned something valuable, please share it with a friend who you think would also love it, or post it on social media and tag me so I could personally say thank you for helping me spread this important message. I am beyond grateful to be here with you. So until next time, stay intentional, stay consistent, and always mind your hormones.